Hey, welcome back to the Big Ranch Show. Thank you for joining me. I had an entirely different video planned discussing the future of this channel. That video will go up another day. Something far more important transpired last night, and it's rather tragic. In Gilroy, California, they were having a food festival known as the Gilroy Garlic Festival. A bunch of people were there to have fun, just enjoy themselves, have a good time. As we in America, and pretty much across the globe, enjoy doing. We enjoy getting out, going to parties and festivals and things like that. We have a lot of festivals right here in the city of Nacogdoches. But last night, a gunman opened fire on the crowd at the Gilroy Garlic Festival. By the end of the night, 3 lay dead, 11 injured, and one of the dead is a 6-year-old boy. Families torn apart now. Families destroyed. Families that will never be made whole again. And one that just lost a 6-year-old child. My question is, how do we stop this? I don't believe gun confiscation is a solution. I don't believe trampling people's rights will solve the problem. But we got to do something. We cannot allow this to continue. It seems like week in, week out, we have another shooting. And who loses their lives? Innocent people that have nothing to do with anything. What could this 6-year-old boy have ever done to deserve what he got? I don't understand. I don't understand this. I cover these stories every time they happen. And they're heartbreaking, each and every one. Especially when you throw in the fact that a child was gunned down. But are we going to do anything to fix it? I don't think so. Unfortunately, I don't think we're going to do a damn thing about it. Because nobody wants to find the common ground. Nobody wants to put children first. They're always just trying to make political points. Trying to say, we have to take all the guns. Or, no, it's because we don't have enough guns. Well, let's talk about the middle. From the middle. Let's talk about it from the middle for a second. On the right, they say we don't have enough guns. We have well more guns than we do people in this country. And less than 40% of Americans are consider themselves gun owners anymore. So obviously, more guns isn't the solution. But then you confiscate guns. How are people in rural areas supposed to defend themselves while they wait for the police to show up when somebody breaks into their home? I'd be damned if I'm going to tell my mother, who lives somewhat in a small country town, that she has to wait for the police to show up when someone's breaking into her house. I'd be damned if I'm going to tell people they can't go hunt for their own food. But at the same time, we have got to figure something out. You got the people on the left saying take all the guns. People on the right saying more guns. The solution is right there in the middle. I'm not talking gun confiscation. When I talk sane gun regulations, I'm not talking about ripping your guns away. What I'm talking about is making sure that we cover all our bases. that all background checks are completed thoroughly for every gun sale. Even if you sell that gun from you to your neighbor across the street. There must be a mechanism for that somewhere. People must start putting their guns away where people can't get to them to be stolen and used in violent crimes either, whether or not it had anything to do with this shooting or not. We need to do better with mental health in this country. Quit stigmatizing mental health and get these people the help they need. Make sure mental health is somewhere in that background check. Close whatever loopholes there are that could allow somebody to get a gun without a background check. If they exist, close them. But I don't know what else we can do. We can't do what other countries have done. I don't believe we can do that. I don't believe it's possible to just ban firearms and make them very limited. As much as I think deep down that that is a solution, I do not think it is a solution for America. We run by a different set of rules here. We are run by our Constitution. And as the Supreme Court has ruled, we have an individual right to keep and bear arms. Even though the Constitution may not explicitly say that, that is what the Supreme Court has ruled it to be. I may never own a firearm, but I'm not going to tell other people they can't. I know too many people in situations where they need a firearm, either because of the job they hold or the location of where they live. There are people I know that live out in the country who either, the wait time for the police can be 10, 15 minutes for them to get all the way out to where you are. I come from a place called Maybank, Texas. It's the Maybank Gun Barrel City, Texas area. And the police department in Gun Barrel City at one point said, we are so limited on police and officers and the wide range of area they cover. They told people to buy a firearm, to get a firearm, because they will not be able to be there in time. And say you live in the country and a coyote attacks your dogs or other livestock. So taking people's guns is not the solution. But preventing criminals from getting them could help. Preventing those who are violently mentally ill from obtaining firearms, that could help. But I only ask this one question. If we could save just one, can we just save one life? We talk a big game in America. You got a lot of people talking a big game about being pro-life. How you have to have that child. The woman must birth that child. But most of you don't care what happens to that child after they're born. We keep doing nothing here. And I'm truly starting to believe that Newtown was the end of the discussion. When those 26 kindergartners were buried, I believe that was the end of the story. America said, we don't care. We don't care what happens to children. But we have to do something. Thank you to the Gilroy Police Department for doing their job. Thank you for showing up and actually protecting the people there and engaging the gunman. And ultimately, you neutralized the threat. To the family who lost loved ones in this attack, I'm sorry for your loss. My deepest condolences, my deepest sympathies to all of you involved. To those who are injured, I hope you all make full recoveries. But we've got to do better, America. We have to do better. I hope to see before the day I die, to the day that these shootings stop happening. But sadly, I don't see it happening. Leave your comments down below. Let me know what you think. Leave your condolences for the families. But let me know what you think. How can we solve this problem? Short of gun confiscation, what is the solution? What do you think we can do? Anyhow, this has been the Big Ranch Show. I've been your host, Jacob Keck. I'll see you down the road.